Now, in several of my videos in the past, I have mentioned I keep a bucket of sand next to my gun safe. And even though I tell people what I use it for, a lot of people have had trouble grasping what I'm meaning by what I say when I use it as a decocking tool. I use it as a safety measure when I'm decocking or clearing a jam or anything like that. So I thought I'd bring it out here and I would actually explain to people and show them exactly what I use it for, because I do get that question a lot. I've gotten it a few times actually in the last couple of days. Now I will say I'm not usually kneeling over this in the floor. This is usually just sitting over here next to my safe, and I just stand over it and do the things I would normally do just standing in front of my safe. I just shift over a foot and do it over the bucket of sand. So it's not really any inconvenience at all. I wouldn't normally be kneeling down like this. This is just for the purpose of the video. Well, the first part's pretty simple, the decocking part. Let's say I'm going to carry my SIG P229 today. Well, I get it out, make sure it's loaded, get it ready to go, chamber around, hammers back. This gun's not designed to be carried hammer back. Now, I trust the mechanics of my gun, and I know the chances of them failing are very small. But I'm also a firm believer that if something can go wrong, it just might. So, I put it over the bucket of sand, I decock, and then even if something goes wrong, there's no big problem. This bullet is not going to penetrate this bucket of sand. It's going to go a couple inches, it's going to stop. There's going to be a bang, there's not going to be any ricochet, there's not going to be a bullet penetrating the floor, penetrating the walls, bouncing off the concrete. None of that stuff's going to happen. The bullet's going to be stopped dead without causing any damage. And the SIG's not even the worst for decocking. As you saw there, the SIG's decock pretty easy. But now if I was to decock my FNX45 here, you can see a little difference. This is a lot more violent of an action when it decocks. You can actually see and hear the hammer slamming down. There you go. You see that? You hear that? That's a lot more violent action. That worries me a little more. Even though I know it's not going to fail. It's totally safe and I would be okay doing that in public. If I'm in my home, I don't see any reason in taking a little extra safety precaution. If the improbable happens and it fires, I'm still safe. Now, it's not just decocking that I use it for. Let's say for one reason or another, my carry gun, my everyday carry gun, I'm unloading it. Let's say I'm going to clean it or something. Well, I'm going to drop the magazine out and I'm going to unchamber around. Well, I'm going to do that over the bucket because, let the slide slip, slam fire, all kinds of things that could go wrong. Even though they're very unlikely, the act of holding it over the bucket while I'm doing it doesn't harm me in any way, and it gives me that extra layer of security. Also, let's say this gun jammed while I was doing that. I've gotten some pretty bad jams before. I don't know about you, but I've had bullets completely backwards in the chamber before after I've had a jam in a gun. You sometimes got to really pry and work and try to get the guns open to get the jam out. Well, while you're doing that, point it at the bucket. Improbable happens, it goes off. You're safe, it's pointed in a safe direction, and not only is it pointed in a safe direction, it's pointing into a medium that will stop the bullet cold and nothing will get damaged. Like I say, no ricochets, no nothing. And one more little thing, when I do unchamber a round, I don't like to chamber and unchamber rounds repeatedly. I'm one of these people, I do worry about setback. And even though I know once or twice isn't going to do it, I'm like, why take chances? When a bullet comes out of my gun for any reason that has already been chambered, it goes in the little bucket. When I go to the range, this bucket gets shot. So all these rounds get shot. Any bullet that's in the chamber of my gun, it might be in there for weeks at a time because I don't unload my guns at night. But any bullet that's in my chamber has been chambered only once. So there you have it in a nutshell, why I have a bucket of sand next to my safe. It's not something that's essential. It's not something I would tell you that if you're not doing it, you're doing something wrong. But it's something that I like to have as a little extra added security. Because not only is it added physical security against a negligent discharge, it's also extra peace of mind. You ain't even my real dad. Oh, motherfucker. Oh. That ain't fun.